Hiram will be doing the questions and answering. The council will be sitting here listening to your advice, your opinions on the issues. And I hope this works out well so we could do this again, maybe like twice a year, so we get the input from the community.
As Mayor Pro Tem Benton said, we're here to hear your feedback, but there is no Q&A. We're here to get suggestions, hear problems, whatever that you think is going on, the way that we can improve the town for the businesses. However, we're just taking in the feedback tonight. We're going to use this feedback to help us hopefully develop focus groups towards those specific areas as they get grouped together, and then we can call everybody back in. And so please sign up, and so that you can be kept apprised of our status on this. But this is for future development, future plans, future knowledge, basically, of how we can proceed better, making us more, I'd say, economically developed as a town. So please, when you come up, address whatever you want to address, but we will not be responding to them tonight. Yes, we won't respond to them tonight, so give us the information you'd like to say, and at that point, I'd also request that if you have the exact same thing to say as someone else, just say that you agree with them, because we're going to keep detailed records in the minutes. And then if you've got anything to add on top of that, please feel free to do so. But we don't need to be sitting here repeating the same issues over and over and over and over. This is to be taken very seriously. We'll take whatever is said and figure out how to move forward with it. So when you step up, please state your name, the business you represent, and then proceed.
So how do you get a response to your question?
Well, this is for y'all to provide us problems, not for us to answer questions. However, as I've told you in the past, you're welcome to come and talk to me anytime and sit down face to face and go over whatever your specific problems are. I mean, that's why the staff's here every day.
Hiram, maybe you want to mention the idea that we're thinking about setting up 3 forums to do the follow-up.
Right. The focus groups I was talking about before, we'll probably categorize into, right now we're thinking about business classifications, professional offices, retail, service industry, restaurants, things like that. And then have a more focused, drilled down conversation. And then, but we're going to use this information tonight to help feed those conversations.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Please step up to the podium.
One thing, can we find out how many businesses are represented here tonight out of the 50, 60, 70 that are in the town?
He's got a law right here, my son, and Fred.
Okay.
Fred, yeah, there's a sign-in sheet, Fred.
Oh, okay.
So we'll know that whenever everybody signs in.
Anybody not signed in? We got 8 people so far, 8 people.
You need to raise the mic up.
How's that? Good. You hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Barely.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Good, thank
Oh,
you.
Sorry.
All right.
No interactions.
My name's Robert Baruso. The address of my business is 424 Sunset Boulevard South on the beach. And, I came tonight to see where this was going to go. And to no surprise, it's going in the same direction most of these things go in. We get to talk, and you get to listen, and then we get to leave. And then everything we say is forgotten, or you discuss it and dismiss it, and there's never any discussion. For some reason, like the council, the high mighty council, and the peasants. And that's the way we feel, or the way I feel. I'm not going to speak for anybody else. But there is never a round table discussion about problems. It's a constant, you tell us what you think, and we'll get back to you. You know how many years you've been getting back to me on problems? Tens of thousands of dollars later, and nothing's done. It's beyond frustrating. When's it going to change?
Well, as I said, the reason for this meeting is to get to that roundtable discussion, sir.
Well, when is that roundtable discussion?
We don't know yet. We're trying to figure out exactly the extent of what we'll be dealing with.
I mean, the problems are so, deep-seated and years of problems.
Robert, tell us your problems.
Yeah,
Like,
give
right
us,
there.
you need to tell us what the problems are.
Hiram, 424 Sunset Boulevard. Okay?
Right. The
Okay.
last time
I mean,
Robert, I don't know.
the last time I was dealing with the town, I was dealing with Richard, who was before you. Everything was moving along very nicely. When Richard transferred all the documents to you, and he said, don't worry about it. He's like, Hiram's going to take care of it. I talked to him. He's going to be reasonable. He's going to work with you. Guess what? Everything came to a screeching halt.
I've never
It
spoken to
became the
Richard.
land of no again.
First of all, I'll address this. I've never spoken to Richard. With you, we gave you what you needed to submit to us, and you never came back.
No, that is not true.
I met you several
That's not-
times with our business
Hiram,
inspector.
that's
on the
not
side.
true.
All right, well,
Okay?
We're gonna have order, or you'll sit
Okay.
down.
well,
All right.
give us specific problems, please, because, I mean, if you have specific problems, please address them.
The problems are, Hiram, that when what we are told, and specifically like when I was told that, yes, I can put a takeout pizzeria in my building by the administration, the planning board, or not planning board, but the town planner. Now, I would not go ahead and spend thousands of dollars on architects, restaurant designers, health department, all these things. I just didn't do this out of a whim. I went forward doing this because I was told that, yes, you could do it. And in the 11th hour, when we went to pull permits, it was, oh, well, no, you can't do that. That's not what we meant.
And I believe the town did address the problem of the seating and changed it so that it was possible shortly after I got here.
It wasn't shortly.
Oh, it was March,
No,
right?
it was not shortly. It was quite a bit longer. We lost another season. So then, Hiram, I said, okay, fine. You know what? I'm done. I don't want to. I'm done. I just want to. I'll finish the condos upstairs, sell the building. I'm gone. I'm going to Ocean Isle Beach. Much more business friendly. My experiences over there have been fantastic. Guess what happened when I went to do the condos? First thing you got to do, I got to put the HVAC in, right?
No, we asked for.
No, that was the first thing, because everything was finished. They're all roughed in. Okay, they're all roughed in. They were all done. They just need to be finished. Plumbing's done. Everything's done. They just got to be HVAC, sheetrock, and done. No, that's right. No, now I need to get an architect, an engineer, and I need to go, right? Isn't that what you requested? Didn't you not request that I get?
Not to debate the issue, as I said, we can talk about this
Right.
at another meeting, but
Okay.
to be clear, the building inspector requested an Appendix B as required by North Carolina state law, which can be conducted by either an architect or an engineer, and otherwise you're good to go once we have all your design standards and
You
access.
make it sound so nice and easy when you say it here, but when we're outside here, it's not like that.
I've never had a personal conversation with you regarding those condos. I have with your wife, but not with you.
Okay, Hiram.
And that's exactly what was stated to her.
Okay. All right. Like I said, what is said and what is done days later is always different. Okay? So I'm done here. Like I can go on and on and on. I mean, you want to be business friendly? I just want one, I'm going to give you one quick example and then I'm going to leave. Business friendly for what? I don't know how many years, 25, 30 years, people have been putting up cabanas here on the beach. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to not look at you while I was speaking, but I've been addressing Hiram. I don't have any personal gains on this whole cabana thing, but I think it's just a perfect good example of being business friendly. I mean, people have been doing this here for 25, 30 years. They come to Sunset Beach because when they come and they rent the houses, they can go out to the beach and they can put a cabana up, and that's all part of going to the beach. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to put these small business owners out of business. So I'm not really sure how that is business friendly. It doesn't make sense. And then on one hand, what you do is you cut the parking thing is just ridiculous. You can't park anywhere now. No on-street parking here, no parking there. You can't park anywhere. But the cabanas, you're saying, are taking up the space for the people on the beach. Well, isn't that kind of like serving the purpose that you want to begin with? To keep people off the beach? The less people, because there's more cabanas. So the more cabanas, the less people. So that I don't understand. It seems like, that doesn't make sense to me. But being business friendly is treating people that have been here from the beginning, treat them right. You know, this is their town. They've been working here, they've been making a living. Do what's right. You know, and I'm not gonna even touch on what all the changes to the UDOs over the last 3-4 years have done to the property values, land values here. I mean, it's just destroyed them. It's made them unusable. If you buy a piece of property at $500,000, as an investor like myself, I go, well, I spent $500,000 on that piece of property because I know I'm going to get this return out of it if I develop it or if I sit on it. But then all of a sudden, the town comes along and starts, well, we need more setbacks. Now you got to put flower pots every 15 feet. And now you got to put sidewalks in to go nowhere. And you need certain lighting. And you need this. And, well, wait a second. Not only did you price us out of the market trying to be able to develop the property, because not every small business owner has unlimited funds, but now the square footage of the building that you were able to put on that same piece of property is now literally almost half. So when I bought that property at $500,000, it's not worth $500,000 anymore. It's now worth $200,000, $250,000, and probably even less because what you can put there is very limited. And the perfect situation is the strip that goes down, you know, from here all the way to the bridge on the left-hand side. Pretty much unusable at this point. Can't do anything with it. They didn't buy it because it was useless. They bought it because it was a good investment. And this is all part of this problem of Sunset Beach. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I hope you address it. I'll see you at the next meeting. I'll see what you say. I said my piece. Thank you for listening. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, can you? Is the council going to be silenced?
Today, this is just to hear the questions from the business people, and then we'll get the questions together and call another meeting back. You know, the gentleman spoke that this is my first meeting with business people. I hope to have more. So, I mean, I haven't heard to see that guy in 2 years since I've been on council. So, I'm just saying, Rich, today we're listening. I promise you, all of you, we will call another meeting shortly, once we get all the information together, and we'll discuss and have answers for you, hopefully. So be patient. This is our first time for me to do this. We plan on doing it again and again until business people in this town are happy. And I'm business friendly, so what he said was incorrect. So I'm just telling you, we're going to address these issues today by listening to you, and then shortly after, a month from now, we'll call you back in and we'll discuss it.
Mark, maybe, can I read what we had agreed on would be the follow-up steps?
Yep.
Okay. When we set up this program, what we said is that we would establish 3 focal groups to discuss the issues in detail and make recommendations for how the town policy could be adjusted. We would propose dates for the focal group meetings. Those are the 3 groups that Hiram mentioned earlier. We would designate 2 council members per focal group to conduct the meetings and address the issues and the policy issues that are raised. And we would establish a feedback mechanism for the town to address the business community issues. Doesn't mean we necessarily solve them, but that's the framework that we're starting with to try to build that we did not have before. Thanks, Elvis.
Thank you, John.
Stop at that.
Next question, please. Next person. State your name, please, your business. Thank you.
My name is Ellen Dean Nelson. I go by Dean, so if you say Ellen and I don't answer, I'm not being rude. I'm just not used to it. I'm the owner of Seascape Designs. We are an art gallery, a new business here in Sunset Beach that opened in January this year. I'm also the new president of the Sunset Beach Business Guild, which was formerly the Sunset Beach Merchants Association. That association, I'm going to address a couple issues up here. First and foremost, that was founded in 2013, and of course, it was dedicated to promoting commerce, entertainment, and tourism in the area. One of the main functions of the Merchants Association and our biggest fundraiser, we had 2 fundraisers a year, the Paddle Fest and the farmer's market. When the farmer's market was awarded to an LLC in 2017, it basically decimated the Merchants Association. We had no income flow, and as a result, we had people who no longer wanted to be a part of the Merchants Association because we could not continue moving forward. The biggest thing that we got out of our membership fees was producing the Sunset Beach Visitor's Guide, which was quite successful. This was in all the stores all around the state, as a matter of fact, and at our welcome centers. All the merchants that were in here wanted to continue to be in here. It was something that people could pick up and brought them back. Some groups were left out. Some groups did not get fair representation. We are moving forward. We did reform for the sole purpose of printing this guide in 2019. If I go to my grave, this will be printed in January or February. Now, my challenge as the president is to get all of these different factions back on board in somewhat of a harmonious fashion. We don't all see eye to eye. We have different needs and agendas. My needs up here on the mainland are different than somebody over on the island. We've discussed that. So we do have our own challenges within our own subset. However, what we really do need is to come together. We are interested in, we know growth is inevitable here. It is here. All you have to do is look around. What we're asking is let's all be responsible stewards for the growth of this town and shape it in the right direction. The businesses are vital here. We don't want to send people down to North Myrtle Beach. We don't want to send people off our area to go to restaurants when we have fine restaurants here. That's crazy. When I hear people recommending restaurants in Myrtle Beach, I shake my head. There's places to eat right here. Okay, there are places to shop right here. But people don't know about it. So we need to get the word out. We have an accommodations tax based on the law back, the 1997-364, which you all are allowed to assess a 6% levy for room occupancy. Out of that, 3% is supposed to go to tourism-related development. We need it. Nobody knows we're here. So no, we are here strictly to promote the town in a positive way. So since we don't have a really way to drive a lot of membership in right now and dollars, I'm coming to you today to ask to see if we can get some accommodation money for you so we can get this guide back out and get Sunset Beach back on the map in a proper way. It's going to be on the map whether you want it to be or not. But let's get it represented fairly, properly, and in a good light. Okay? Some things we've done since we're new. Very simple. We did a name change. We felt that we needed, like you all, a new direction. Okay, not to coin a phrase, but we wanted to repair our own issues and our own fracture. We want to be open and positive. So we have a new name change. We have a new logo that's coming out. It is a version of the Kindred Spirit mailbox. We feel that is representative of Sunset Beach. Okay? We have new members. Not a lot, but I sure hope to see some of you all, which I did bring my applications with me tonight. We have changed the way we structured our membership. We are letting nonprofits in. They are coming in free of charge because nonprofits shouldn't have to pay to be in this community, but they will help us in any of our events with some volunteer work. So we cross-promote each other. I've been in contact with those nonprofits. 3 of them have signed up already. We've also prorated our membership. It's a $200 annual. If they start July 1st for the rest of the year, it's $100. That $100 is going to help promote this magazine, which we had funds we continued from the previous organization to help promote this, but it's only good for 1 year. Costs a lot to do this little magazine.
How much?
Somewhere between, I don't have the exact number, but between $9,000 to $15,000. Depending on how many businesses participate. There were a lot of people who were left out. This magazine could have been done, it was done very well, by the way. And kudos, it was a full-time job to the people who did it. However, there should be sections for exactly what you all were saying, different focus groups. There needs to be a restaurant section. There needs to be a accommodation section where people can look up rental properties, et cetera. And there needs to be a retail section, et cetera. Once we get all that in there, that's going to cost more because there's going to be more in here. So that's going to drive the price up somewhat. We have changed our website. It was visit Sunset Beach NC, okay? And you can still do that, but if you go to your website, and I don't know if mine's still up, you will see a complete change of our business page. We are featuring you can hit on religious organizations for people who are visiting. They know where their churches are. Every single one that we could get our hands on, we've got listed there in the area. We have every event that's coming in, whether it's the wine and chocolate, if it's the Pure Market, if it is, the Rock and Democracy, it's listed on here. So people can help plan their vacation. We have updated that. All of our members get featured on this website. Their businesses are there. If Steve from Backstreet Cafe, who is a member, is on there, people can go on and see pictures of his restaurant, pull up his menu, read reviews. It's all right there. We're trying to make it interactive and friendly. That website is generating over 100 to 600 hits weekly. 100 is on the low side. That was about 2 months ago when I did the data, but up to 600. We have a Facebook page by the same name, which is somewhat confusing, but that's got 4,000 followers. So about a month ago, we started a new Facebook page, which is Friends of Sunset Beach NC. Anybody can join. You don't have to be a business owner. However, business owners are encouraged to go on there because they can promote what their special is that day or what an event is going on. Families post pictures that they took here at the beach. We formed it about two and a half to 3 weeks ago. I think we went live with it. We currently, as of tonight, have 570 members. So it is growing. People are interested in Sunset Beach. We are doing the Paddle Fest in September. We still have to get a permit to you all, but our tentative date is on September 15th because that will be high tide at approximately noon, which makes sense to do the Paddle Fest. It will be a toned down version from what we had in the past, which was a little bit large, I think, for the group at that time to handle, and some of the events did not go over as anticipated. But we still want to have a presence in the community, and that will generate some income for us as well. We have a couple meet and greets. July 19th, I believe, or 16th, I'm not sure of the date, is the next one. I'll make sure everybody gets that information. That will be at Backstreet Cafe. We try to let anybody who would like to come from the community learn about us, ask questions, and meet with us and see what we're about. We're here to support each other. When I met Steve and knew his restaurant was there and people came into my store, it became an immediate conduit of people go, where's a good place to eat? Hey, let me tell you, I went and ate there. Let me tell you what it's like. That's what we need to be doing, sending people. You need real estate? Let me tell you who we've got here, blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on. Very important. Again, we're dedicated to promoting commerce. We need your help as a town council. I am happy and positive that we can work as a harmonious group. I will work in any capacity with any of the groups and bring them all together or work separately within that function. But I implore you all to consider using the accommodations tax for that which it was intended. And that was to promote tourism in our area. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dean.
Thank you, Ellen.
I'm Eddie Walters, Sunset Properties on the island, Sunset Beach. This might be a little bit rambling. I don't have anything organized, but for businesses to succeed, they need people, right? So they're going to need residents and they're going to need visitors. So without the patrons, none of the businesses will come, and the few that do come will not survive. So we're going to have to come up with a marketing plan to reach out to the citizens, the visitors and the future visitors, future residents, to bring their attention to the town of Sunset Beach so that we can drive more traffic to these businesses. So I think you've got a couple layers in marketing to look at. One would possibly be to look at a comprehensive marketing plan that reaches nationwide, target specific markets. We know that Charlotte is a big market for our area. We know that Ohio, Pennsylvania, I can give you a list of states that we track. So we've got to get the folks to Sunset Beach. And then once they get here, I think that's the next layer of marketing, that someone like the Merchants Association could then help market to the local businesses once we get the people here. You can't market an art gallery to somebody in Ohio. You've got to get the people from Ohio to Sunset Beach, and then you market the businesses in the town. So I recommend that the town look at that approach. There's multi-levels of doing that, or angles of doing it. One would be to possibly look at a website designer to add on to the town website a business community-focused page or pages with links to businesses, so that we're not redundantly marketing and the same, you know, it's more people spending more money to focus on a few businesses. So the town, I think, could add to their existing presence by helping marketing the businesses here within the town. It could link over to the Merchants Association website if you chose to do that. I think the town should seriously consider appointing a group of members into a Sunset Beach TDA, just like the county has. Let that TDA be your marketing arm for the town of Sunset Beach. You folks are very busy running the government side, and I don't know that any of you are experts in marketing. I certainly am not, but there are people that are. It may involve a paid position for a director, and then you may have an appointed board to serve, just using the county's model. I'm on the TDA with the county. So this isn't original thinking. I'm just bringing what I've experienced there to Sunset Beach. Print media is okay, but you know, internet marketing is where it's at for all things business. Yeah, again, the brochures are great when you pick them up. The magazines are great. We stopped printing rental brochures over 10 years ago. Everything is online now. It's just the best way to spend and reach the most people with the least amount of money. It's the most effective, I think, marketing tool available. So one thing that was touched on earlier is the tourism money. I think the town generates about $1 million in lodging taxes each year. About, what, $600,000 or so of that is the 3% amount or so that goes to, should go to tourism. I think this TDA that the town could form would be funded by that. And, you know, until we seriously look at a tourism promotion or promotional effort, and tourism, of course, equates to future residents, because I'm sure that most of you, if not all of you, visited Sunset Beach on vacation before you decided to call it home. So it's just a step in that process. So I would encourage you to reevaluate what you do with that accommodation tax portion that's supposed to be used to promotion of tourism. It clearly defines in the statute that it cannot be used for services the town would normally provide for its citizens. And I think that's what the town's been doing for decades. So there are millions of dollars that have not been utilized over 20 years plus. And I think that's why we're even having this meeting now, because if we would have started 20 years ago appropriately using that money, these businesses would be thriving, and we'd have more people here, if that's the true goal of the town, is to have more residents and have more visitors. I think everything is in place. You just have to put it together and guide it and direct it in a positive fashion. And that may require increasing tax rates. I know it's not popular, but we have one of the wealthiest demographics in the county. So nobody wants to pay taxes. Nobody wants to waste tax money. People do not mind paying taxes for services. And if we have those services, I think it'll be a better town overall. So that's about all I have to add. So I would just encourage you to look into a couple of those points.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
Next, please.
Don't everybody jump up at once.
Hey guys, my name is Will Oakes. I'm actually from Raleigh, and I work for a company called Lapp Purser and Associates. We led the redevelopment efforts and the current leasing efforts for the Pelican Square Shopping Center. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with it. It was the ugly vacant big box center off 904 that had the Food Lion in it before they moved across the street. We're really happy with the town and what you guys have done to help us get through the process of redeveloping it. So thank you for that, and I think this is a great first step to be able to reach out to small businesses so they can all work together. I firmly believe that a rising tide raises all ships, and growing up vacationing in this town every single summer, it's been a real big pleasure of mine to be able to come here and work to help transition this town from just a strictly seasonal tourism beach community to a place where citizens can hopefully thrive and have great businesses that are going to be, profitable 365 days out of the year. With that, one thing I would like to see is for the town to be able to work with developers and commercial brokers alike to be able to promote their redevelopment projects or their new development projects. Whether if that's a website forum, something as simple as a Facebook page, or even just getting a committee together. There might be one in place now, but I'm not aware of it. But would love to see that where, this town can really say we're pro-development as long as we do it strategically and the right way. I just really think that's going to help the town grow. It's going to help get new buildings. It's going to help get new residents down here. They're going to be opening new businesses. And like I said, I think it's just going to help everybody out. Obviously, I have a vested interest in my own personal shopping center, but I would love an opportunity to be able to work with other developers and realtors in the area to figure out a way to continue to strategically develop this town. So that's all I've got to say. Thank you guys so much for putting this on, and I'm looking forward to the next meeting.
Thank you, Will.
Next, please. Not you, John.
But that was our line.
I'm John Hobgood from the Sunset Beach Trading Company in the Island Market. According to Wikipedia, not really, or the United States Census Bureau, in 1990, the population of Sunset Beach was 311 people. 2010 census was 3,572. Sunset Beach, Ocean Isle Beach, Holden Beach, and Caswell Beach are the four beaches that fought for this exclusion or whatever it is from the occupancy taxes.
Beach nourishment.
Yes, so that they could spend it on tourism-related expenditures. Yes, I guess, don't have to do things because you're excluded, but jumping from 3,000 to 300 to 3,500 in population, while Ocean Isle Beach, Holden Beach, and Caswell Beach in permanent residents have pretty much remained, not much changed. I think maybe it should be looked at again in terms of how to distribute those funds for, tourism and related issues. That's all I have on that, because that's, I'm more interested in what I see day in and day out on the island. It's a different reality, as Dean was saying, from the mainland. We have different issues out on the island. I see the same people the same week, year after year after year after year. And they come in, some of the comments are, what in the world are y'all doing here? Or, am I allowed to have a cabana this year? Or, when can I put a dog on? It goes from when's the church services to where are the dogs allowed, or where can I park, or where do I pay this parking ticket? We are, on the island at least, are the ambassadors of the town, and whether we like it or not, and we try to put on a good face for the town. But I think that, as Harriman said, we need to figure out how we as business owners can work with the town and get things moving in a smooth way for the residents, for the visitors, and for the business owners, for everyone, I'm hearing more and more people who are saying, oh, we just bought a house. I said, oh, are you living, are you gonna visit often? Oh, no, we're here now. We love it here, you know, and I said, well, good for you, that's great, come see us sometime. But then you have the other people who are just, they just don't understand what's going on in the town with all the rules changes. Every year is another set of rules, another change. Are we allowed to, are we not allowed to? And, you know, some of the way the communication, maybe there can, with this tourism board and or just a better rapport that we have with you guys, meeting with y'all frequently. Not all during the summer months, please, but maybe like in September, October would be a follow-up time for me at least. Having that give and take feedback and whatnot, because there are things that, concerns that I have that I want resolved, but if you get in touch with me or when I call Hiram, you know, during a busy week for me, I'm doing it as I'm on speakerphone, as I'm driving down the road. You know, I'm trying to fit it in between a delivery truck arriving and me running home to get my kids and whatnot. So it's a busy time for us. The parking issues, I know there is or was or maybe there still is a parking committee. The parking issues, everyone complains about how overcrowded the beaches are, and I said, well, where are you know, are you visiting? I'm a day tripper. Okay, well, where are you parked? I had to park here and walk. I said, well, you're parking here or here, so therefore you're going right here at the pier. So everyone's overcrowded at the pier, so you think this island is overcrowded. It used to be people parked all over the island and went out to all these different access points and peppered themselves on the beach. So I don't think it's the new bridge that's ruining this town. I think it's forcing people to park here and go to the closest beach access, which is right there near the pier. You know, but I think parking needs to be revisited along with, you know, enforcing the ordinances that are already on the books, whether it be in the residential areas or in the business areas. But I'm looking forward to working with y'all in the future. Any meetings you have during reasonable hours, I'd like to be there. So, thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Next, please. Can we set a date for the next meeting after?
Well, we could, but the purpose was for us to take this information, develop something, and then drill it down. And as he just said, I wouldn't mind myself September area, or postseason anyway, to focus on, because it'd be beneficial to the businesses as well, waiting for the tourists, but at the same time, it gives us full accountability to manage through all this information and develop those focus groups.
Okay.
And then we also have to decide which council members go to the focus. There's still a lot of stuff to do administratively, but we had originally planned for it to be early fall for those focus groups when we set down this committee. But if you want to move it up or go ahead and set a date, that's fine. We just, you know, it's not a problem, but we don't know how we're going to break this out yet. That's why we're asking everybody to sign up so that they can be notified when we do have a decision, because this isn't going to be just,
Well, could we start the process even a little sooner, like late August, and then roll into fall? Because we've got a lot of stuff. I realize kids are gonna go back to school after Labor Day, and that will change demographics considerably in businesses, but I still think if we could at least have one meeting prior to that, because once fall comes, that's a whole different shoulder season. And for some people, that's a busier season too, so, you know.
it's up to the council.
Well, let us get the focus groups together, and I'll take that in advice that we'll get something going at the end of August, and have a term, one meeting in September sometime. But Dean, we'll do that. I know. But let's get the focus groups together. Let's get the councilmen that want to be involved, and we'll get back to this group probably in the next week or so on what date in August we could do that, and a date in September. Is that fair?
Yeah, that would stimulate things a lot quicker if you know, if you have 8 weeks instead of 12 to combine your thoughts and then get back together. You know, the activity could be stimulated and the growth would start to move, you know, at a good rate. I mean, the longer you wait, I mean, the more, you know, regressing it gets, so.
Lisa-
why don't we kind of look at the 26th as a time
I
to
was just going to tell
discuss
that.
this?
Can you put that on the agenda for the 26th, please? So it'll be on the agenda for the 26th of July. You know, July 2nd is full.
June.
June.
What exactly will be on that meeting?
How to set up the focus groups,
Okay,
who wants to be on the focus groups,
okay.
and therefore then we can set the dates in August and September when we can get together. All right, so that's a week or so away.
And if some people can't come to one, we'll make sure we get the information.
And also it'll be televised,
Yeah.
so they can always, you know, get the recording of it.
We're having the same problem with trying to do our meet and greets because it is season and, you know, we're trying to get the, but we also have to strike while the iron's hot, while people's businesses are thriving and flourishing, they're more likely to become more of a participant.
Okay.
So it's a double-edged sword.
Well, we'll get it going on June 26th for you, okay?
Perfect, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Steve, you're awful quiet back there, Steve. But, oh, God.
You asked.
I'm Steve Palazzo. I own the Back Street Cafe, have been in business. This is my 9th year. So I'm just sitting here and I'm really listening, and I'm just going to reiterate what I've heard. I think everybody has to work together to bring people together for businesses to thrive, and I think it all has to start with you people. It has to, if you want to make change, you have to change. Too many times I'm in my store, people will say, I've lived down here for 15 years, they'll rumble into my store, gee, did you just open up? And I'll say, no, I'm in my 9th year. I find that ridiculous. How can that happen in such a small town where people don't know that you've been here for 9 years? I will say that pamphlet, that booklet helped me immensely. My business thrived. It was the best thing that ever happened to my business, and I can only speak for myself, okay? Once that booklet was taken away from me or from anybody else, my business suffered from that. And I don't think that you can really fully understand unless you're a business owner who goes to work 7 days a week, every day, to try and run a business, and your livelihood depends on it. You know, people who sit on this are probably retired and their lives don't depend because they have pensions, but you don't really understand what it's like to be in a business, to have something ripped from you. And yes, I was very upset about that, and probably still am very upset that that farmer's market was taken away from us, and we lost the money to continue this going on. I'd like to see an opportunity to get that back, because that was something that really helped this town and brought everybody together. Also, my opinion on towns is that it all has to work together, that you have to think about your people that live here, your visitors, and the people that run businesses here should come first. When I hear people coming to my store and people who serve on Merchants Association and tell us to our face that, gee, I won't eat in any restaurant in Sunset Beach, that makes my stomach turn. And I really feel very turned off by that. And, you know, we work very hard to thrive and to work. I think it has to start with you. I think that it has to change, this whole situation here. It's just not great. It's not great. When people don't know that you're here, there's something wrong. So you all know I'm upset about that, and I get really emotional about it. But that's my feelings about it. You know, it's just not good. And I don't think unless you're in a position of trying to make a living, you really couldn't understand anything like that. So that's all I got to say.
Thanks,
So
Steve.
change it.
Thank you, Steve.
Hopefully, we can go forward, work together, get the dates, talk about it on June 26th. We're doing something that's never been done before, so let's do it right. As a town council, I think all of us here are pro-growth. All of us are pro-business. I lived in the community for the last 13 years. I love Sunset Beach. And we'll work together with you to make it a better beach. So we'll start on June 26th, and we'll go from there. Yes?
I just would like to add one more thing. I would like to encourage all of you, the town council, to visit all the businesses. It does Steve is right, it begins with you guys and it's trickled down. It's incumbent upon all of us to visit each other's businesses. And I know we're busy, and we may not have time, you know, to get around, but it's important that you all know who we are, not just who we purport ourselves to be in here, but who we are in the community, and what do visitors see when they come into our restaurants or into our stores or into our hotels? What do, you know, the residents see? What do the visitors you all to have that. I certainly would welcome all of you to just come in. It may not be your cup of tea, and that's absolutely fine, but you'll know it's not your cup of tea if you see what it is, okay? And that goes for everybody. Invite everybody into each other's business, and it is incumbent upon me to visit every single one of you all as a merchant, or the new Sunset Beach Business Guild president. So if anyone has any questions, please, we have an opportunity right now. The council's opened up a door of communication of a new, fresh start. I think it's a positive one. I realize there's a lot of baggage going through, pushing through that door, but I think with the open communication, we can really make this a positive thing that will help you all and certainly benefit us tremendous. And anything is going to be an improvement for us to promote our tourism.
Well, I'd like to thank all of you for coming out here today, and you'll see a change in this council towards business. I promise you that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'd like to adjourn this meeting.